Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and I want to do a little work in my B6 Traveler's Notebook. This cover is from MLG & Co. I did not do the bookmark yet, but I will be doing that, and I was considering doing a tassel. Even though it's after Christmas, I still want to use this for a little while longer, and I may use it through January, actually, as far as the cover and the decorating. The inside will pretty much always remain the same. I can make changes as I go. I need to figure out a way to keep this closed. I probably could actually put the bulk of the sticker book inside. Nope, that doesn't work that great. All right, so I have made a few changes here and there. I don't really remember what I shared in the previous video, but these will be index pages eventually. So I just headed them with one of my favorite washi tapes, the same washi tape that I used for the index in my B6 Stalogy for 2023. So lots of pages for that. And I also tipped in one of the vellums that was available to Craft Lab Text. I think this one was for October. The digitals are only available for the month that they are released. So if you haven't picked up or downloaded rather the December digital and you're a member, you should go ahead and download it, because after the 31st it won't be available anymore. And even if you don't use it, at least you download it to your device or save it in your cloud storage. You'll have it. So this is the one for December, and I tipped it in. And I also went and added some of the extra laminated tabs that I have. So when I print the monthly tabs, there's usually a few extra that are just blanks. And so I am using those here for now while I use them for the end of the year. So this one was for November. This one is for December. I did go in and decorate some of the pages like so, even though I haven't really used them much. I did a little. Then I tipped in the acetate. I think this one was a freebie. Yeah, a freebie. And this is available on my website at scrapcraftastic.com. So I intended for this to be the beginning of January. I also have printed out from papertraildesigns.com a 2024 year at a glance calendar. There are different styles of this, but this was the style that I liked the most. So I'm going to be using that. And I guess I can tip that in here somehow, maybe, or here. I think that's what I'm going to do, but it's not going to go all the way in to the edge. I wonder if I trim it. Let me see if I can trim it down a little bit more so that it will fit better. All right, let me see if I can make this fit. And do I want to glue it all the way down, or really do it tip-in style? Let's round some corners here. I think I'm going to do it this way. So let me put something underneath so I can see where my true edge of the paper is. I think that's what we're going to do. Yep. So I'm going to run the 1/8 inch double-sided tape down the inside edge. And then I'm going to use tape runner for the rest of it. The reason I did that is because I really want this spine edge where the binding is to hold tight. So I wanted to make sure I get the tape all the way to the edge. And it's easier to do that with the double-sided tape than trying to do it with the tape runner. because I don't have very much wiggle room here with this. So, all right. So there we go. Best that I could do with that one. Now that probably shouldn't be part of January, but I'll put the January tab on this page and do something different for January, I think. Like her. She's also a freebie, but she is... All right, I'm going to trim this down a little bit so that I can see what I got to work with. This is actually half letter size, but let's see what we can do. I'm trimming it to 5 inches wide, so that means I'm a little small. Actually 4.5, not 5. So I'm gonna trim this here. I don't like the way that cropped out, and I probably should have just made a smaller version, but I'm gonna work with what I've got here. Let's round those corners. All right, so I rounded the corners. Let's go ahead and put on the tape. Put that in. And this is the 5x7 composition notebooks. Well, one of them from Walmart. I think they come in a 2-pack for $1 and some change, if I remember correctly. I'll put information on the screen above if I can find it on the Walmart website, so you can see what that's about and check it out if you choose to. All right, so we're ready for the new year. We got January. I got January tabs. So these are the small tabs. These are available to patrons depending on the level that you are. These are in the New Year Prep collection. So make sure you grab those. And they come in black and gray. I'm using the gray for this. And I'm going to start at the top, I guess, with this as January. These are laminated, so it keeps them nice and sturdy. It's not just sticker paper, it's laminated. And I use my digital cutting machine, either the Cricut or Silhouette, to cut them. There is a video, I'll link to it in the iCard up above, that shows how you can make the laminated tabs, and I'm pretty sure you could probably even cut them out by hand. It's really easy to make them. So all right, now the main thing that I came on to do was I got the red elastics, and I got a bigger size. I think usually I get 2 mil, but I wanted something a little sturdier because these seem to wear out so fast. But now I'm thinking this might be entirely too thick. Look at it. It's really thick compared to this. So I don't even know if the holes will accommodate that. I don't want to really change these elastics yet. I think I can leave the gray. I kind of just wanted to change the closure for now. And maybe I'll do the other another time. This lobster clasp has broken already. That's a problem. It looks like the the ring on the bottom of the lobster clasp. This just not any good. This is what this is looking like now. Can you see that? So I don't know what happened. It's broken. So I do have other lobster clasps. Mine are much bigger though. I'll see how I can repair it. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and change this elastic. Okay. And hope that this is going to fit. I'll link to this cord in the description box below. Where's the other end? I kind of don't want to take that loose, but I guess I'm going to have to. So this will be nice too. I'm leaning more towards doing traveler's notebook style junk journals. Oh, there it is. On my for my Journalized Journey channel and for my journal making projects. I think this cord would be better for that too. Let's tuck this back because it is heavier, and I think the books that I would put on it would be heavier. All right. I mean, it is a little obnoxiously heavy though. I must say, let's see. That's a big difference. But again, I'll get plenty of use out of this for Christmas stuff or Valentine's Day. Either one. All right. I don't like this raggedy end. Can they both go through this hole? I think they can. It's going to be a tight fit. I might need to poke it through. All right, let me go ahead and tie the knot before I have a problem. And I don't know if this being extra thick will make a difference on closing the notebook or securing the notebook. It's going to have a big knot though. All right. I like that a lot better. So it was this gray versus this red. So I guess eventually I'll change these out as well. Just kind of tight. Could probably stand to loosen it up a little bit. Oh yeah, in the previous video for the Traveler's Notebook, I showed how I customized the covers. If you want to check that out, I'll link it in the iCard so you can. All right, I don't want to pull it completely through the hole. Now I got to figure this part out. It has a jump ring on it. I think this is toast and no good. Yep, see how it just came apart? Now I haven't been using this that much, so I don't know. I guess I should contact the seller and let her know. All right, so I'll have to fix that later. Let's move on to the next thing, which is the inserts. So I went ahead and printed the full year of the inserts for 2024. They are available on the Scrapcraftastic Patreon in the New Year Prep section as well. I'm not sure which levels, so you can check there to see. This is the version where the months are back to back to back. So there's also a version of what I call singles, where you have a month, then you have some dot grid paper in between, then you go to the next month and you have some dot grid paper after that month. So in between each month, there's dot grid where you can actually put in your daily inserts, however you want to do it. It makes it easy to do that. So, but this is the month back to back. I showed in another video how you can just fold this, trim what you need to trim, and it would be an insert ready to go in a traveler's notebook. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do here. I am going to go ahead and fold these. I'm not going to trim them until after I fold everything because I don't want the page creep. Now you can trim before you fold. Let's put this up, but I'm not doing that. I started to, but then I was like, well, I could get hopefully a nicer cut if I use the blade. So that's what we're going to do. And I just printed these duplex on my HP printer. I will put my printer in the description box below. It's an inkjet, so they don't always print the best back to back. Let me see. This is pretty good compared to what it usually is. It's only slightly off. So maybe their software has improved to where they print this prints better. But I do know with laser printers, when you have duplex printing, it tends to print more accurately as far as how the pages line up when you use laser printing. But I must say, my new printer did a really good job with the lining it up front and back. Can't complain. All right. And I do like to fold the individual pages. I just feel like I get a nicer fold, a nicer book. Okay, and then I have the cover that I'm going to use, which is just a piece of regular white cardstock this is from Walmart. Now I could just fold it in half, but I wanted to have a nice clean fold. Oh, I don't know where my stylus is, so I'm just going to use my bone folder and score at 5.5. And that should give me a nice, precise fold without cracking and all of that. And I still line up the corners. And then I'll use the bone folder to smooth that down. Okay. And if you don't have a bone folder, I think I have a video showing how to score without a scoreboard. I'll try and link to it either in the iCard up above or the description box below, because I don't know how many iCards I've already said. So this is going to fit in here somehow, some way. And I'm going to mark where I need to trim. Since there's no marks on the cardstock on the outside, I'm going to use this as a guide to help me. And I kind of know once I get here that it's 5 inches wide, 7 inches in height, but it's still nice to have that visual there. Okay, so I've marked my cover. Now I am going to paper clip my pages. Just get my giant paper clips. Hope they don't scar up my cardstock. And you still want it to have a bit of a fold though when you do that. Make sure everything is lined up really well. Let's try that again. Before I trim it, I'm going to use my foam and my stapler. I do have a long arm stapler, but I'm just going to show you how to do this. You can eyeball it or measure. I think I'm just going to eyeball it this time since I tend to measure when I'm doing multiples and I want them to all be the same. If I'm doing just one, then I'll just eyeball it. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I am lining up where my staple is coming out with the fold in the paper, in the cover. and pressing that down. Then I'm going to go to the other end and pretty much do the same thing. Just making sure that's all lined up. And then I'm going to do the middle too on this one. Okay, because I feel like I'm going to be pulling it in and out a lot. So I want it to hold together well. And then I'm just going to fold down the prongs or the feet of the staples. And I might be a little too close, actually, to where I'm going to trim. I'm not going to worry about that. But when you do it, make sure you're not too close with your end staples to where you're actually going to trim the paper at. I didn't even think of it because it's been a long time since I did a notebook where I was trimming it like this. Okay. So the staples are closed. Just take off the clips and burnish, burnish, burnish. Just make sure these are down really, really well. Okay. Now I need my mat, which is where? Here. Hope it's big enough. And I am going to trim. So to help me line it up, I'm lining up the tick mark that I made with one of the marks on the mat. And then I'm making sure that this edge is straight on the line that's going horizontal. So I'm lining it up vertically and horizontally. And then I'm going to, my ruler is too long. I got too much stuff on my desk. So I guess I'm going to have to use the Tim Holtz ruler. And then I'm going to line the ruler up with the line that I lined the tick mark up with. That's how you get things mostly straight. And then I guess I'm going to use my box cutter for this. So this is from Home Depot. It's nothing special. This is why I like my other ruler, because it does not wiggle. It has a cork backing. This Tim Holtz ruler will wiggle. Have to be careful. So I just make light strokes until I cut through everything. Okay, so there's one in. It's not too close. All right, let's do the other end, and then I guess it'll be easier to just measure this end. Even though my measurement is already there, I'll measure again. So I'm lining up this edge with one of the lines on the cutting mat. I'm lining up my tick mark with the vertical line, making sure everything is straight as I can get it. Then we put the ruler on and line it up with the line that the tick mark is on. So this line here, this line there, make sure it's straight. And then we trim. Now I probably should measure to make sure this is 7 inches. But hopefully my tick marks were in the right place. And this cutting mat that I'm using is from Dollar Tree. All right. So there's that. So far it looks okay. Is it 7 inches? I just want to check. Yes, it is. Okay. So now we need to measure over 5 inches because I cut off my previous tick marks. So let's do that. And that should be where my tick marks would normally have fallen anyway. are my cut marks. Okay, let's do this again. Lining it up the same way. Well, I'm gonna have to move it down some because the height is more. Let's move it over here. Line that up, line that up. Okay. So this time I'm using this line to line it up to make sure that it's as square as I can get it. I have my tick marks to guide me as well. So let's go. So that is how you do that. Here we go. Got the monthly for the whole year ready to go. So just going through, making sure everything is in order the way that it should be. Something I should have did before I went to cutting. Fold my pages over. And so that leaves my cover, which is just basic white cardstock, to decorate how I choose. Okay. Very nice. Came out nice. All right. So that's going to go in here. I guess I'm going to put it here on an elastic by itself. And then I'll have to come up with a cover for it. Some way to cover it, to keep it nice and clean. And for me to insert my decorations in, or my sticker, when I put the stickers on it, to keep those protected. But that's what that looks like. Fits in there nicely. All right, so I guess that's it. The only thing I need to do that I can think of at the moment, I'm sure I'll think of something else to do to it, is fix my bow. Figure out a way to do that, and I should be good. We already put the January tab on. I'll put all the links and everything that I can for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'm happy to answer. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and you may be interested in this other video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.